What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with my second round preview and picks for all 8 Sunday games for March Madness. But before we get into it, subscribe down below to be entered into our giveaway. Looking at the games from Friday, I went 11-5, not bad. The Nebraska game, blowout. Yale obviously upsetting Auburn, and then SMC, St. Mary's getting upset by Grand Canyon. So victim of some upsets, and then the upset I picked, New Mexico did fall through, but for the most part, the other upset I picked right was the James Madison game. And other than that, most of it was all chalk for the remainder of the day. Starting with the first game on Sunday, I'm going with Marquette over Colorado. And I think the 3.5 here should be a little higher. I think this Marquette team got off to a very rough start in the first half and then figured it out in the second half. And I think that was more getting the jitters out, and this team really wasn't ready, where I think they will come prepared and play good 2 halves of basketball. But if Colorado can score 102 points against Florida, then who knows how this game is going to turn out, because, I don't think it's going to be as a high scoring game as that one, but this one could get out of hand if the Buffs can keep that high scoring. 240, you get Purdue and Utah State. And I think Purdue is going to cakewalk this one in the second half. I think Zach Edey and Braden Smith are going to be too much for the Utah State Aggies to handle. And, when Virginia lost to the 16 seed, they responded by winning national championship, and Purdue obviously coming off of losing in the 16 seed last year. Now let's see if they can get that run going and kind of pull up Virginia when they won it all. At 5:15, I think this is a game where Duke could get upset. James Madison, a very good basketball team, obviously already upset Wisconsin. Can they be this year's Cinderella and upset Duke as well? I think Duke with Filipowski, as long as this team doesn't get into foul trouble, this Duke team can win this game. I don't think they win by 7, so I like the points with James Madison, but Duke's going to squeak this one out here and move to the Sweet 16. At 6:10, you got Clemson and Baylor, and these two teams have both been up and down all year, but they find themselves in the round of 32 looking for a chance to the Sweet 16. And, it is tough to pick against Baylor because Baylor has been historically good these last few years in the tournament, but I am going with Clemson here over Baylor. I took New Mexico over Clemson. I thought that'd be an upset, but they just destroyed New Mexico. It wasn't even a close game. And that turned my head here a little bit. Maybe it's just the recency bias, and I like Clemson off of that win. But maybe Clemson's that team this year that makes the Sweet 16 run that no one really counted on or even saw coming. At 7:10, I'm going with a big upset here in Grand Canyon over Alabama. And I know Alabama plays a faster pace and can shoot the ball better than Grand Canyon, but 30-4 is no joke. We saw what they did. Already pulled off an upset against St. Mary's, who I had decently going a little bit to the Elite Eight, and I thought that team could have made a run here with an easier side of the bracket in the West. But Grand Canyon gets the best of them, and I think they get the best of Alabama here, because in that first half against Charleston, they didn't really show up. Grand Canyon showed up for the whole game, and if you get a similar performance like that, I think Grand Canyon walks away with the victory. Not much to be said here in this one. Northwestern played a great game, got the overtime victory against FAU, but I think that's where their season ends, as UConn is going to take care of business, gets back to the Sweet 16. UConn is the hottest team in college basketball right now, best team in college basketball, and everything is clicking for them. And I don't think Northwestern is a big of a challenge to some teams down the road. That's why they are favored by 14 points. I don't know if they win by 14, but I do like UConn to move to the Sweet 16. At 8:30, Texas A&M, Houston. I like Houston here to win this one, and I think they're due for a nice little run here from recent years. Recent years they have made some runs, but they really haven't put it all together. And I think this is the best team they have had since they've started to really put their name out there and be one of those top teams. But Texas A&M really took it to Nebraska, hot shooting, really carry them to this victory. And if they can shoot like that, then who knows? Maybe this game is going to come down to the last second and be a nail biter. But I think the Cougars move to the Sweet 16. Then the last game, the round of 32, you get Yale and San Diego State. And Yale, great fundamentally sound team, very smart with the basketball. And we saw it pay off against Auburn, took care of business, pulled off the upset. Where San Diego State, they did enough, scraped by UAB to get here. And I think San Diego State's season continues. I don't like the 5 points. Again, I think Yale is going to cover and make this one very interesting. But San Diego State is going to escape with the victory, because I think they have played a lot of close games in the Mountain West and have won those and prepared for this moment. And I think that's where that helps them here move on to the Sweet 16. But that's going to be it for my picks for the Sunday games. Come back next time to see my Sweet 16 picks and Elite 8 picks. But until next time, the Bench Buddies are out.